said the democratization of the space, right? There will always be resistance to that sort of thing. I mean, already so much of it has come through from governments. You know, China has also weighed in on it. Um, do you see that sort of chipping away slowly at the resistance because they too realize the potential of this?
Yeah,
Well,
when people ask me about this topic, and of course there's this question from the floor regarding the Chinese ban.
Yeah.
China has banned crypto every year, so this is not the first time. Every year around September, they will make some announcements and say they banned crypto, but it hasn't changed anything, right? Their first big ban actually happened when I first started in September 2017. So at that time, it was crazy. Every day there were 100 or 200 new projects being launched. So a lot of people were getting into fever pitch. So the Chinese government had to cool the market down, and they had the first massive ban back then. But even before that, they already banned it a few times, right? If you look at the history of Bitcoin, you just troll through the internet history for the last 13 years, 12 years, you can see that Bitcoin has been pronounced dead over 300 times.
a really good point. As Malcolm says, look, there's been a lot of bans or attempts to change it, but you know the interest, the Bitcoin is still here. And this is my point. I think I'm going to come back to you, Kanan. Is there really a resistance, or is it some people who see their way of life being changed by better tools who are pushing back a bit, right? You know, the world is run by huge bank lobbies and money, right? So they don't want to change that world. The system works well enough for a lot of people. So new things threaten. They threaten, you know, the way of life. They threaten the way of making money, and they threaten the power balance. And I think that's definitely why people push back. The technology, a lot of people have, and you know, this is stated by almost all the banks and governments in the world, is that it is interesting and apparently it's working. What they don't want to lose is control. So it's a huge difference between, is it a pushback, or, because I actually see the opposite. I don't see a pushback. I see China reacting or another country reacting. That's because there's a huge adoption. There's a huge surge from the bottom up where people want to come. And that's not a resistance, that's actually the opposite. But the resistance comes from people who say, wait, this is a bit too fast for us. We want to do it in our way. And also, can we see that we can keep our money flow and control? Nobody is leaving that voluntarily. Nobody would. So they're fighting tooth and nail. I'm a bit more liberal. I believe that a lot of things can be decentralized and be more fair and be more optimal. But I definitely think that in a regulated, positive environment, companies thrive differently, because then VCs and people dare to invest even more, rather than in an environment where you're not sure what the laws are from a day to day. So that's why Singapore is awesome, because the government has a clear stance compared to clearer stance compared to other countries.
So governments are worried about losing control, exactly like Daniel said. I mean, governments are around to tax you and to control you, right? And to make sure that they control the money. So anything that threatens the money order, that threatens the monetary policy and fiscal policies, will of course present a huge existential threat to governments.